So that's all about the microstructure of eutectoid, hypoeutectoid, and hypereutectoid. So similar as in chapter 2.2, we also need to know what is the wake fraction or the composition and phase present at phase diagram. So let's look at this exercise. So consider an iron carbide alloy containing 0.25 weight carbon. Okay, determine the mass fractions of pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite, total ferrite and cementite, and eutectoid ferrite. Okay, so now similar as what we have learned from chapter 2.2. Okay, where we are going to find the fractions, weight fraction, mass fraction dan sebagainya, we need to utilize the rule 1, rule 2 and rule 3. Okay, so first of all, we should be able, but in this chapter, because it is very specific, so we should be able to know at 0.25 weight percent of carbon, what is the region as is. Okay, so we have learned just now that hypoeutectoid is happening at carbon content of 0.02 until 0.76. So if it is at composition of 0.25%, so it must be in, it exists in hypoeutectoid. So whatever question later on, okay, we must refer to hypoeutectoid region. If let's say the question asks you what is the microstructure ke apa ke, so we have to look at the hypoeutectoid punya. Okay, but a little bit something slightly different than chapter 2.2 is because we are now knowing the specific solid that exists in the region. Okay, so for example, question number 1 asks you to find the pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite. So see in the previous lecture, okay, we know that pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite, okay, here it is happening below the eutectoid temperature. Okay, pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite. So does we need to take into consideration below eutectoid temperature in order to find the pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite? Okay, so if you look at here, pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite is happening below the eutectoid temperature. However, okay, if we are going to find the below the temperature, below the eutectoid temperature, we can see that the alpha pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite, which is consists of alpha plus Fe3C, okay, the pearlite ni, all of the pearlite, okay, is 100% from gamma. Okay, so if the question asks you to find pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite, so it's actually we have to find the pro-eutectoid ferrite and gamma, which 100% will be transforming into pearlite. Okay, so it's actually this question A, the question number A ni, okay, it is easier if we were to find the microstructure from before the eutectoid temperature, because we know that here is where the pro-eutectoid ferrite exists, and all of the gamma here will be transforming into pearlite later. So if the question asks you to find the pro-eutectoid ferrite and pearlite, it is better for you to find the before eutectoid temperature. Okay, where the pearlite ni is all gamma. Okay, so let's look at the how are we going to utilize rule number 1, rule number 2 and rule number 3. So now the phase present, okay, hypoeutectoid and it is happening at above eutectoid temperature. So now the phase present, we know the phase present is proeutectoid ferrite. So this is why the prime or dash here happen, plus gamma. Okay, remember that all of this gamma will be transforming into pearlite later. So it's better for us to find the proeutectoid ferrite and pearlite from here. Okay, and then rule number 2, okay, we should be able to know what is the composition of proeutectoid ferrite. So at here 0.25, the composition of ferrite, proeutectoid ferrite, okay, will be 0.02. Okay, this one is, remember the level rule, we have to ataupun tie line, so it is above, it is located above the eutectoid temperature. So this one is your composition 0.25. So what we need to do is we have to do some tie line. So this one is alpha, so this one is R, and this one is sampai sini. This one is S. Okay, so the composition of alpha is, okay, so remember hypoeutectoid is happening at 0.02 weight% of carbon. Okay, and gamma here, C gamma, okay, so this one is alpha plus gamma, so alpha R and gamma is here. Gamma is 0.76 weight% of carbon. And then we have to use rule number 3, which is level rule. Okay, level rule. Okay, remember if we were to find the weight fraction of proeutectoid, so what we need to do is, proeutectoid is R, proeutectoid alpha is R, so we need to take S. S over S plus R. So S is, okay, S is 0.76 minus 0.25. 0.76 minus 0.25 over 0.76 minus 0.25 plus R. R is 0.25 minus 0.022. 0.25 minus 0.022. Okay, so then you will get the weight fraction for alpha ferrite. This one is hyper, sorry. Alpha ferrite, it will become 69%. Okay, 69%. And if we were to find the gamma, so it will become R over R plus S. 0.25 minus 0.022 over 0.76 minus 0.25 plus 0.25 minus 0.022. So it will become 0.331 weight %, 31 Okay, so remember this 31%, which is the weight fraction of gamma, is also similar to the weight fraction of pearlite. So you are now answering question A. Okay, so question B, you need to find the total ferrite and cementite. So where is the total ferrite and cementite happen? At hypoeutectoid. So ferrite and cementite is actually here. Ferrite and cementite is actually happening here. Okay, so basically ferrite and cementite now can be found below the eutectoid temperature. Okay, so how are we going to find the total ferrite and cementite is from finding below or after or below eutectoid temperature. Okay, so okay, kita tengok dulu. Now the phase present is hypoeutectoid, and if you are to find ferrite and pearlite, we have to find the below eutectoid temperature. Okay, so we can see that below the temperature, C alpha is 0.02. Okay, and then C cementite, this is where it will become a little bit different. Okay, so this one is your composition of 0.25, and now we are looking at below temperature. So here, let's say it is here. Okay, so making a timeline. Now this one is C alpha, which is 0.022 big percent of carbon. Then we need to find cementite. Where is your cementite? So awak garis sampai jumpa cementite. Now sebelum jumpa lagi cementite, cementite is here, hujung sekali. Okay, so the composition of cementite now, Fe3C is 6.7 weight percent of carbon. Okay, and then macam tadi, this one is R, this one is S. So if we were to find the weight fraction of ferrite, okay, we have to take S over S plus R. So what is our S? S is 6.7 minus 0.25. 6.7 minus 0.25 over 6.7 minus 0.25 plus, how about our R? R here is 0.25 minus 0.02. 0.25 minus 0.022. Okay, so you will get the answer. Weight fraction of alpha is 97%. Okay, so if we were to find the weight fraction of cementite, okay, it is R over R plus S. So R just now is 0.25 minus 0.022 over 0.25 minus 0.022 plus S, our S is 6.7 minus 0.25. Okay, and then it will become 3%. The answer is 3%. Okay, and then last question. Okay, find the eutectoid ferrite. Okay, how are we going to find the eutectoid ferrite? Ha. What is eutectoid ferrite? Okay. Eutectoid ferrite ni is if you were to look at here, eutectoid ferrite is happening eutectoid alpha. It is here lah. Okay, eutectoid ferrite. So how are we going to find the eutectoid ferrite? Just simply by minus the eutectoid minus the ferrite. Okay, our ferrite. Okay, minus the pro-eutectoid ferrite. Okay, then you will get the answer 28%. So can you try to do for the hyper-eutectoid still pula? Okay,